Hi there, this is Leads Workspace training video number 2. Okay, so we just created a new call script for this address, 1637 83rd Street, LA. And we now want to begin to make a call, and we want to use this script. And so what you'll need to do is study this script. Take as much time as possible before you start. You need to have a hold on this, a really good, you would really want to get this down, because when you actually start making the call, we want you to make sure that you sound enthusiastic when introducing yourself and when going through these questions. Okay? All right, so here's some things to read and to remember and to know before you get started. And there's one other thing too. You're going to need to have, your sellers are going to have some rebuttals for you. So we've created a rebuttals script that you can either download, print, and have next to you as you're on your call, or you can actually open it up in a new tab here and have it right next to your call script tab that you're working on. So in order to get a copy of that rebuttal script, you're going to go back to, now I already have a tab open, but I'm going to go back to, close this down, I'm going to go back to my Leads Workspace home page, and that's where all of the apps are. So this is considered our home page, and I'm going to go to the app called Training. That's where I am now. That's where you're going to find the rebuttal script. And that's also where you'll find these training videos. And there will be other training materials here as well. But let's go to the rebuttal script. It's a PDF that you can either, again, click here, print out, or you can just have opened in a tab next to the call script tab. So I'm going to click here and open up the PDF. And this is the rebuttal script. I'm pretty sure we're going to be adding more rebuttals to this as you go along. But just go ahead, and if you want to move that next to this call script here, so it'll be really easy to get to quickly. Okay, so you'll want to also study these rebuttals as well. Okay, so you have your rebuttal script open and you have your call script here. One other thing I want to point out, this is the phone number here for noteworthy properties. You'll also find it here at the top of the cold call rebuttals page. Okay, so voicemail script, pretty much that's probably the only time you'll give out the phone number unless asked, but pretty much you'll only give that out when you're leaving a voicemail. But if you actually get a caller, then this is you're going to go through the script here. We want you to answer all the questions, and I'm just going to scroll through here. You're going to indicate at the end of your conversation what the result of the call is. And if you've made some notes, if this does not answer adequately what the result of the call was, then use the call details to put in more details about the call. And then part of your interview is to get information about the property. We pretty much have it, but this is where we really verify what we have. Okay, you want to get verification on what we're going to need to know in order to call back to give the seller an offer, what the cash offer is going to be. So you're collecting information about the property, price, motive. You're going to monitor their motivation level and why they're selling, how much they want to sell it, how much they would like to get, all of that. And if they're interested in selling, you want to set up an appointment for the acquisitions manager to call them back. Okay, and or in our case, we're going to say for our partner to call them back. Okay, but it's actually the acquisitions manager. You can use that too. Okay, and then after you set the appointment, then the acquisitions manager is going to call them back, and based on all the information that you collected here, they'll be able to offer them, to give them a cash offer. Okay. Now I do want to say this before we go into the Appointments app. I'm going to use my jump menu here again. I want to say that make sure that you make something out of every lead that we have here. And what I mean by that is we don't want to leave any lead behind. We may get a caller who does not qualify for a cash offer, but rather they qualify, or the best solution for them is to list their property on the MLS. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to go back to the rebuttal script. Should they say, or should we determine that it would be best for them to list their house on the MLS, we want to tell them that we can still help them do that because we have in-house agents who can help sell their home, and we can have them give them a call back and set all of that up. And you're in on that commission as well. Should that result in a listing and the house sells, then you'll get commission off of that as well. So we want to make something out of those types of situations. We also want to make something out of every situation. You may come across an issue like probate, foreclosure, abatements, any of that. And what you want to do is tell the seller that you will have one of our specialists, in-house specialists, to give them a call back to follow up with that. Okay, so any lead that comes off of cash sale, off of a listing from the MLS or any other way, you will get your commission. Okay, so we want to make something out of every lead that we call on. Okay, so let me go back to setting up an appointment. All right, so you've qualified the buyer. The buyer is motivated, and they're ready for our partner or our acquisitions manager to call them back to set up an appointment. They can call back and give them a cash offer. So set your appointment here. Now, this information we're going to transfer over into the Appointments app in just a second. But just go ahead and go through the script here as far as setting up an appointment with seller, and tell them thank you, and then end the call. And then what you're going to do is, I've actually sort of, I think I've tried to do that before, but let me see. Let me go ahead. I'm sorry. Let me delete this. I'm sorry. Let me go back. I'm going to delete this because here's where we are. You're ready to make the appointment. I want to take this out. All right, there we go. We need a blank slate. Okay, so to set a new appointment, just like before, you would click here, create, in our case, a new appointment. Oh, I'm sorry. First, before you even do that, you want to copy the address. Okay, remember we did that when we created the new cold calling script here. You want to copy the address. You want to set up, create a new appointment. You want to copy the address here. Remember, make it populate here. Click from the drop down. Okay, and the rest of this information you need to go back to the the script in order to get that. So you want to save this first to return back to the call script app, and you want to go back down to set appointment, and you want to start transferring here this information. Now this is the link back to the appointment app. Okay, so if you can remember the seller's name, you know, you can go back to the appointment app and put that in, and then come back over here. As a matter of fact, the seller's name. Let me see what the seller's name is. I wonder if I have that. Stephen Bell. I remember that. Stephen Bell. So I have that information. So I want to get this started by putting in Stephen Bell. You want to say, for instance, he wanted a call back on November the 26th at 2 p.m. Okay, I'm using my tab key to tab to the different fields: the hour, the minutes, and the time of day. And now this is one field that you don't have to fill out, but you do want to put in Stephen's name. Oops, sorry, Stephen. Okay, we're going to use one field for both the first and the last name. You want to also put in the phone number. Now I don't know that right off, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll all the way to the end of my appointments app, and I want to go to the call script record here. Remember, that's this is the link back to this call script, and here's the phone number here. I'm going to copy that. Oops. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. I'm going to copy the phone number here, and I'm going to come back up to the top. I'm going to put the seller's phone number here. Oh, okay, that didn't work. Let me try that again. Control C for copy, and come back up here to paste. Control V is in Victor to paste. I'm going to get rid of all this the stuff that I don't need, and I also want to make sure that now by this time I would have verified if this is a home number, mobile, or whatever. So say for instance it was verified in the call script app that this is a mobile number. Okay, so I would indicate mobile. I'll also go back for the email address and any notes that I think it's important for the person who's going to call back. I would put that here. Okay, more than likely you will not have a file to attach, and you will not do assign any tasks to the appointment as well. Okay, so that's pretty much all you need to do, and you just save it, and the person who's going to make the call back will come here and pull this record. And there's one other thing that I need to make sure I put in here, okay, and that is I need to make sure that you're the cold caller that's assigned to that appointment. So I need to go back, and so when you actually come in here, you're going to see where you can indicate here. You can put yourself down for the call rep. So I'm going to make sure there's an option to make sure that you are attached to the appointment that you just made. Okay, so let me go back here. So this is the appointment app, and so I'm just going to add a field for you to indicate that you're the call person for this app. Okay, all right, so that's pretty much it. And if you have any questions, add a comment over here on the right hand side. And by the way, you can do that in every app. If you ever want to make a comment, just come over here to the right and type your comment, and we'll get it. Okay, all right, thanks.